When I was growing up, I saw a lot of people working. My parents, my family, but I also had friends that started at a young age working. And I was always looking at them and like, what are you doing? You're working 40 hours a week or more. My father worked even more. He became ill. A lot of my family members became ill, like burnout type of illness. A lot of those young people worked for money so they could do fun stuff in the weekend. And like, is this life? Is this how it's meant to be? Like to work and do things you don't like for a lot of time in the week, to do fun stuff in the weekend. And even like a lot of those people were like really tired in the weekend, so just relaxing to have enough energy to start again on Monday. And I was so surprised when I looked at them. I looked at them like, and I make the decision. I was really young. I was a teenager. I don't know. I remember exactly the age, but I think it was 14 or something, 15 maybe. And I decided I will never have such a life. Never. I decided it right there, right now. And then when I had to choose a study, my family wanted me to study economics because economics was broad, always relevant, that was really perfect. And I decided psychology because I want to understand why people live the way they live. Why do they make these decisions in doing stuff they don't like, just only for money? Is that really worth living for? And now, so when I had my journey of trying to be an example of making different choices, right? I'm an almost full-time mom. I'm running my business. I have friends. I do my sports. I have me time. I do it all in a week. That means that I'm not 40 hours a week working. I do it less, but I do it efficient. I do it with fun. I do it with ease, and I do only the relevant things. I choose what I do and what I don't do. So don't expect a lot of meetings in my company. So I organize it differently, and that's like, what is work? Why do we work? Why do we organize it the way we organize it, right? Because if you look to history, we worked because we needed food on the table, right? We worked because we had land and we needed to grow our food. We worked because we had to build our own house. And now, because all those things are organized differently, we have different systems for them. Work became not something like needed to have the baseline covered, right? So, but why do we organize organizations like we do? Why do we organize work the way we do? We can change this. We don't have to be this way. We are raised, right, with working hard. Only when you work hard, you deserve certain amount of money, or you deserve like, oh, well done. Only when you work hard. Why? Why do we create this system of working hard? So my family worked really hard, and most of them got a burnout. Like, I was looking at this like, I will never ever work this hard and I will never get a burnout, right? So why do we do this? Why do we live in a system that rewards working hard? Why are we not living in a system that people who choose also themselves and also the greater good, but also themselves, and also to choose like, okay, my focus needs to be here this week, or today my focus needs to be there. Why can we not change this? And I feel immediately when I say this out loud, I sense all this fearness around me, right? But it's not mine. But this is because society and a lot of organizations and a lot of leaders are scared for the unknown. Because we don't know if we let this go or we change this totally in a different way, what will happen? What will people do? How will this look like? And because we don't know, we have a lot of unknowns in this. we tend to not do it and just keep to the system, because there at least we know what we get, even though it's maybe negative, but at least we know what we get. It feels safe. But it doesn't feel fulfilling, right? Because a lot of you are not leaders to have sick employees in your organization or have people dragging themselves to work. That's not why you do what you do, right? So who is willing to step in the unknown, but to follow your heart, to follow something you believe in, even though it means a different organization, a different system, where people work in a different way, but in a way that make them happy, that make them healthy, that they make them to want to go to work, like it's fulfilling, it's life-changing. And then from this field, it's an energy field, right? Can you feel the energy field? And now when I say this out loud, I feel the anxiety like moving away from me. But you have to be aware of these mechanisms that immediately fear comes up. But it can be societal fear, it can be fear of other organizations and other leaders. And there are a lot of people not willing to take these risks or steps or stepping in the unknown. And that's a decision only you can make. Like, are you willing to step in the unknown, to change how we look at organizations? Are you willing? And then it means that you have to be aware of the energy fields, because I really believe that energy is the new strategy, right? We know a lot about strategy, we learn it in the books, it's all like from the mind, we know. But I really believe that energy is something you need to be aware of, and that we need to see an organization as an energy field. It's an energy field. So then it means, like, what is the base energy field in your organization? So maybe you have enough awareness that you can see it yourself. Look at it, what's the baseline energy field? If you don't have enough awareness yet, you can always contact me and I can have a look with you what's the baseline in energy. Because if the baseline energy is fear, then your organization is running from fear, right? If the baseline energy in your organization is security or certainty or maybe even love, it can be all these baselines. Is the energy in your organization, you have to work really, really, really hard to get rewarded, right? Or is the baseline energy more like, you can relax here, you can be you can have an off day, you can have a day that it's okay. What's baseline energy in your organization? And then you understand why growth is only temporarily, or why you have certain situations in your organization returning and returning, recurring patterns. It's logic. Usually it's really logic if you look at the baseline energy in your organizations. Then you will say, of course this happens in this organization. Of course. It's logic because it fits with the baseline energy in your organization. So if you want really, really to change, you need to change the baseline energy of the organization. And that means you have to change the baseline energy of you as a leader. The top leaders have to change because they set the tone, they set the energy. So it all also go hand in hand. I hope this helps you. I hope this inspires you. Please feel free to comment what you believe is your baseline energy in your organization. And if you want to know what it is, please contact me. I think in 10 minutes we know it. I can have a look with you. For now, have a great day. Step in the unknown and show that organizations can be rebuilt and changed.